me from Born to Stitch, the name of my shop here in Secaucus, New Jersey. Ida just left, so if you have watched our last Flosstube, you'll know that this is going to just be my StitchCon recap video, and I will try to keep it as short as possible because we all know I can be a little wordy. I didn't want to bore Ida with all of the details, and she already knows so much of what happened. But StitchCon is truly one of the absolute highlights of my year. I know some people, at least around here, oh, it's so far, it's a long drive, whatever. It is. As a matter of fact, my friend Dory 23 Stitches, who you may have seen, we posted a joint video before. She's from New Jersey also, and she flew. I choose to drive. It's about a 9-hour, it's 9 to 10 hours depending on traffic. I just prefer to drive. But when I tell you, there is just an instant excitement in the air when you get to StitchCon. It's waiting in line for the doors to open actually remind me of the good old days when I'd have to stand online for tickets to this guy. There is a camaraderie, an instant connection with everybody there because we're all there for the same reason. And then when these two ladies, Pam and Steph, show up, everybody is so cheery and happy, and I always tell Steph, I don't know how you stay on the whole weekend because she's so in demand, being pulled 15 different directions. And both of them are always working the whole weekend, but Steph is really running all over. And the keepsake staff, I can't pick a favorite one. They're all just wonderful. Although I did give the crown to my friend Jen this year because I even took a picture with her, which I will try to include. They're wonderful, and I can't say enough about it. If you're even thinking about it, slightly on the fence, go. So this year we actually had an interesting conundrum because the ladies I had gone to StitchCon with the last 2 years, none of them were coming back this year. So I was back to a solo traveler. And some friends of mine from the shop were going to adopt me at their table, but I was going to be the extra. I was number 7 at a table for 6. My friend Dory had some people she sat with last year, but she was also going to be the number 7 at a table for 6. And since we were rooming together, we're kind of like, we should start another table just near the others, and it was great. I laugh because I told Barbara my only complaint about StitchCon is that you can only sit at one table, because when you go and you meet people, you want to sit with everybody, you want to spend time with everybody. But we met some, I can't say enough about the people we met. I call them my new family members already because they were just wonderful. We had Sherry, and then Sherry was from, oh God, don't hate me, Sherry, I'm thinking Illinois or Indiana. It was one of those I states. I know it wasn't Idaho or Iowa, so it's it's Illinois or Indiana, one of those. But Sherry was there, and then we met Beverly, Alicia, and Beverly's daughter Rebecca, and just you saw all of them in the short video Dory and I did, if you saw that, and they're just amazing people, and I just hope we get to see each other again. I hope they all come back to StitchCon next year because I'm planning to, but if they don't, I hope I see them at another retreat. You never know. So let's get into it. StitchCon starts on Thursday. It's held in Sharonville, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cincinnati. It goes Thursday through Sunday. Everybody starts lining up super early on Thursday. We showed up about 8:15, 8:30, and the line was already outside the door. And rumor has it that somebody got online at 5 a.m. I have no idea if that's true or not, but that's what we were told. So when they open the line up at 10 a.m., you get to meet Pam and Steph, and you get your goodies, which of course I did not bring with me. But this year we got an insulated tote bag that's actually a backpack. It's really nice. I used it on the way home to keep my water and stuff cool for the ride home. My husband already tried to steal it. I tried to thwart him off by the fact that it says StitchCon on it, but it's not working. I have a feeling that sucker's going to disappear. And also they gave us an iPad, a holder for your phone, a little stand that sits on the table, and it actually swivels back and forth. So if you're showing somebody your picture on your phone, it was great. Everybody had them out. I absolutely loved it. That was probably my personal favorite gift we ever got at a StitchCon. And I will be using that for a very long time. So on Thursday, you go in, you get your tables, and the madness starts. I literally did not stitch anything until I think Saturday. So I will basically show you all of my goodies. I also want to mention the floss tubers that you can meet. I got to meet Victoria and Chris from Stitchy Fix. Now they're old pros at Flosstube, but ages ago when I had my first channel, Sprinklestein Stitches, I watched them pretty much, I think it was when they first started. And Victoria had just had her first baby, I think. And all I know is that I've always watched them, and sitting down, I just happened to look, I always thought they went to weekend A, and they said they usually do, but this year they were at weekend B, and I could see them from my table, and I was kind of stalking them, because I didn't want to go up and attack them at the table when they were there stitching with friends or whatever, but I did eventually stalk them and track them down, and I got a picture. I'm going to include all the pictures. If I remember, I'll insert them. I keep doing this just so I remember I have to insert something. I will try to insert them here as I mention these people. If I don't, I will insert all the pictures at the end. But of course now I'm drawing a blank. I did write them all down. And I will say also that I missed Andrew, the stitcher, the runner stitcher. I cannot believe he went to weekend A. I have to meet him one of these days. He's in New York City, which, as you know, is only a few miles away from the shop. And one of these days, he says he's going to come here. So I'll just keep busting him until he gets here. But I'd love to meet Andrew, and I'm just sorry I missed the weekend. So I met, again, Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher, because I met her a couple of years ago at StitchCon 2 years ago, and I was just grabbing coffee for breakfast before going into the room, and I saw her sitting at another table, and I'm like, she's familiar. I know that woman. I know that. And finally it clicked, and I went over. I said, "Are you Nancy?" And she was. So I got to meet her again. Stitching Scotty. Dottie was there. She is adorable. If you see her videos, she's exactly the same in person. She is just the sweetest, sweetest lady. My girl Barbara John, stitching with Grammy. I love her. We seem to bump into each other all the time when we're not planning it. So one of these days we'll actually plan it and be in the same place at the same time on purpose. Bestitch Me, Brandy, I had met her at Market. We've talked about Bestitch Me a lot on the channel, and I've said it once, I'll say it again. She has the best customer service. I've driven that woman crazy over the years, and she's never given any pushback. And that's not to take away at all from Corinne, Grace Notes, because she's another one. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. They have 350 colors out there, all different fabric styles, and yet they manage to always be kind and polite to any questions I might have. But Brandy, I've known her for at least 5 years, I guess. I was in her Fabric of the Month club for a long time, and actually broke my heart when I had to stop, but I just had no more room for any fabric, and something had to give. So it's always nice to see her. I met her for the first time at Market, and I don't know if she was being honest, but she said she remembered me, so we'll see. We'll take that and run with it. Hobbies of Holly, she was also there. I was introduced to her. I had never met her before. Stitching Big Things with Hallie. Hallie she's awesome. She is one of the sweetest people, and she's obviously by the name of her channel, Stitching Big Things with Hallie. I met her, I think that was 2 years ago also, maybe it was last year, stitching in the Hyatt the night before the retreat started, and she enabled me with Artisy patterns. She had a little nutcracker, I think it was a nutcracker. I bought the pattern, I don't even remember what it was now, but I'm in awe of this woman and all the big stitches she does. I don't know how she does it. I start full coverage and I never finish them, but they're there. Julian Stitches was there, and she was giving out these cute little froggies. And it was a riot because she had, I don't know if you can really see that good. He's cute though. She had a whole little Tupperware container filled with them, and she put a sign on the table and said, if you want a little frog or whatever, come to table whatever, and that table was right behind me. So I'm looking at the sign, I turn around and I'm trying to find Julie whatever, and she goes, "Are you looking for a frog?" And that was it, because at the same time we met Fanny at that table, who was from France. We got to see the sisters from My Sister Sampler, Carolina Stitchers, Pink Stitchers, that was great. Niecy Lynn, can I just tell you, now I've watched Niecy Lynn off and on for years. And I say off and on just because sometimes I fall off the Flosstube wagon. It's me and my time management. It has nothing to do with the Flosstubers. She is one of the most genuine people I've met. What you see is what you get on those videos, except if it's possible, she's even funnier in person. So sweet. And she introduced me to somebody else who was there who can potentially help me with my business and the tech part of it, and very, very helpful. I don't want to say the name just in case I don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything for the help, but just wonderful, wonderful. And then there's just two other people I want to mention. One is, where did it go? Count Twice, Stitch Once. I didn't know they were at Weekend A. I'm telling you, between them and Andrew, I would have switched my weekends, almost. But if you haven't watched Count Twice, Stitch Once, go watch them. They are wonderful, and they supported my channel at the very beginning when it was lucky if I had 10 people watching. I just did it because I loved it, and my video quality was crap because you did it in my living room and I had crappy lighting, and they were never anything but super supportive. Okay, I lied, I have two more things. The other one I want to mention is my roommate, Dory 23 Stitches. We have discovered that she and I are basically the same person. Dory cracks me up. When I watch her videos, if they're on in the background and I'm walking around, I swear sometimes I feel like it's me. And we got along so well sharing the room. Everything about us was the same. Our eating habits, our poor eating habits. Her love of Diet Coke, I'm the same, but I need my coffee in the morning. She drinks the Diet Coke with caffeine, so that's her caffeine boost. But it was just great. We get along so well, it's scary. So I had an awesome time hanging out with Dory, and she was just a customer before that. We were very friendly, but she was a customer. Now she's genuinely a very dear friend, and I'm so glad we got to spend that weekend together. Then the last one, this is my favorite highlight from StitchCon. I don't think I was doing videos. As a matter of fact, I know I wasn't doing videos during StitchCon last year. There was a little girl. I had done a finish of an Autumn Lane Stitchery chart. I'll include it here. I think it was called Winter Friends, maybe. It's a big snowman with a cardinal. It's beautiful. It's the one pattern I saw at market, and I told Erin immediately, I'm buying a copy for me as well as for the shop because I just loved it. I stitched it from start to finish, which I never finish anything. I finished it right away. And I had put it on the brag table last year. It wasn't framed yet. It was just the finished stitch. And this little girl who was 10 years old came over, because at StitchCon you put your information for the stitched piece and you also put your name and your table number. This little girl had come up to the table, and she was very quiet, very well-mannered, and she's like, "Who's Amy?" And I'm like, "Oh God, what did I do?" And she just came over because she loved the snowman, and she just wanted to tell me how much she loved it. So I said to her, "You know what?" I said, "I didn't bring the chart with me, but when I get home, I'm going to send it to you." And I actually remembered. So I sent her the chart. I sent her the leftover floss, and I said, "Have fun, whatever." And so this year, when somebody was ringing the bell, it was a mother and daughter, and the daughter had a finish, and they were taking a picture, and she was walking back, and I looked at her and I said, "Oh my goodness, I think that's the girl. Her name is Alyssa." And I said, "Excuse me," I said, "are you the little girl last year with the snowman pattern, whatever?" And her smile, she just got such a big smile, and her mother said, "Oh my God, she's been hoping to run into you." And she came up to me and she gave me this big hug. It was the best memory of this entire trip. I absolutely loved it. I'm going to insert a picture of that, definitely. I asked her mom if I could put the picture in, and I don't have a great picture of her finish, but I'm going to try to insert a picture of that too, because she did a black work piece and entered it in her state fair or county fair, I'm not sure which it was, entered it in the adult category and won. And the piece is exquisite. I never would have believed that this 11-year-old there's my stuff at 11 years old, good Lord, I wouldn't even want to show it to my mom. it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And they were just the sweetest people. And Alyssa, you really did make my day. So thank you. And I hope you did well or you will do well. Your dance competition is this weekend. So, and that's it for just the overall recap. There were other people. I met a woman named Karen who made these adorable, which that's another thing I forgot. It's adorable, a sunflower. She makes them out of old bed springs. I don't have her business card with me. If I remember, I'm gonna insert a picture of it. She sells a lot of stuff at Keepsakes for StitchCon, and so what I was saying though, it's a sunflower on an old bed spring, and the sunflower she makes out of wool and felt, and it's a pincushion, and it's just adorable. And there was a race to go get it because I was leaving the next morning to go see a friend, and I wasn't going to be there when the annex opened. So she hid a couple for me, and thankfully they still had one when I got back, and I snagged one. So Friday morning, as I said, I left to go meet a friend. I have a friend who lives about an hour and 15 minutes away from Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio, and Craft Gallery is one of those shops that was on my bucket list. There is their card, and again, they're in Findlay, Ohio. Now, it says Paul and Carlton owners. I thought they sold it, but maybe they still own it, and these other girls are just running it because there's 2 new managers. Christy, I met Christy. I think I met Sarah as well, but I didn't get her name. Christy's name I got because she was a riot. So Craft Gallery was lovely. It's probably the only public restroom that I've ever taken pictures of, and I will insert some of those as well. They have a bucket of markers there for you, and they have white walls, and they basically open it up to everybody who goes and visits to sign your name, leave your name, your location, whatever you want to do. Teresa Kogut was on there. Amy Brookin was on there. I want to stop mentioning designers because I know I'm going to forget them. And of course, Pam and Steph, they signed around the mirror, the mirror, and it's like Pam and Steph were here. Pam and Steph, Pam and Steph, Pam and Steph, Pam and Steph. It's great. And there was one picture that was my favorite, and I'm not going to include it just because it has the woman's last name on it, but it said like Jane Doe crossed out, Jane Smith crossed out, Jen Jones crossed out, and then there was like 4 cross outs and then another last name, and it said, this better be my last name changed. So that was my favorite. But again, because she not only has one last name in there, she has several. I'm not going to put that picture in here, but just know you win the prize. That was my favorite one. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. I did not do the smalls exchange. I did not play the left, right, center game, left, center, right, whatever that. We always called it left, right, center, and I don't think that's the correct name. I don't know. Same gist, you know. I had intentions of doing it, but the time just gets away from you. You never saw 4 days go so quickly. Now, I also had a lot of gifts and things from my table mates and from other attendees. This was last minute when I was leaving this morning. I forgot to bring all of my stuff together, so I don't have everything here. And I want to apologize to anybody who gave me something that I don't have with me. But trust me, the table gifts are ridiculous. These people are so talented. It's just, as a matter of fact, Dory, my roommate, I don't have her table gift here. I don't know where I put it. And I know Alicia, I also don't have hers here. But I didn't want to leave the others behind that I did have. So I just brought what I could, but please don't get offended if I forgot something that you gave me. So first of all, I will show you my haul from Craft Gallery because that's the easiest. So they have this little scissor fob, keychain, whatever you want to call it. On the back it says these scissors belong to. And then of course, on the other side is why I really needed to get it. It says Craft Gallery. Isn't that great? So I had to have my little memento of having gone there because it's about a 2-hour drive from the Sharonville Convention Center. This one is from Annie B's. It's called the Haynes Sampler. I just fell in love with it. And you see my problem? I don't buy anything small. Everything I buy is like gargantuan. Because I can say, yeah, I'm going to stitch that, and I'd love to say I will, but Will I finish it? Probably not ever. But it's beautiful. Those pinks drew me in. And then the other one is Teresa Kogut, and this was exclusively done for Craft Gallery, and this called In His Image. Sorry. And there is that beauty. As a matter of fact, while I was there, I sent a picture to Dory because it just looked like her jam, and I picked up a copy for her too. And even, I mean, there's so many things you can pull out. You don't need to do this whole thing. I mean, I love this, the little floral. I think it's beautiful, and it says made in the image of God. I am not a religious person, really, at all, but I just think it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Oh, and sorry, see, I'm unorganized, shocker. This is another one that we got when we checked in for the event and got our badges. It says this way to StitchCon 2025, who doesn't need another thread keep. Ironically too, I don't know if it happened to anybody else, but I think I'm the only channel whose name was left off of the board of Flosstubers. It's nobody's fault. It's all, you know, it's a human error. That's all it is. But Dory is the one who noticed it, and she's like, "Oh my God, your name's not on there." Blah 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 blah. So Steph took a magic marker or whatever it is, and she wrote it on the dry erase board. So I really was there, even though I wasn't listed. I promise you, I was there, and you probably heard my voice to prove it. So now again, these are just all gifts that people gave. This was from. I want to make sure I get this right. I thought so. It was the Pink Stitchers. They made these beautiful. Can you read that? I can't tell if that's backwards or what, but it's with the little shiny bling and a scissor fob. It's just adorable. And of course you got the one little thing there. The Pink Stitchers, if you haven't watched them, there's a remarkable story there. Go watch their Flosstube. This is from Stitching in My Pajamas. Little thread drop and the cute little sewing machine, which is just adorable. This, don't even know quite what that is. Got a little piece of, oh, this is from Abby, Top Knot Stitcher. I didn't see her. She must have left this on the table when I was away at one point. I've known Abby for a couple of years, so, I mean, she probably doesn't, she wouldn't know my face, but I used to order a lot from her. And then this, the name is on here somewhere. Crafty Cara Stitches. I think I met her a couple of years ago. She gave us little floss drops like this. Aren't these pretty? These are so pretty. Nice and laminated. This is a great little idea. Great idea. And then there's more floss drops. So pretty. Astrid, if you're watching, look away, because I bought one of these for Astrid. This is just a scissor fob keychain, whatever you want to use it for, from Keepsakes. It says StitchCon on it. I wanted to get her something. Oh, it's from Sampling of Memories. And it's just really pretty, so I bought her one of those. I bought one for me and one for her. And I realized that was whole. That's not stitchy kindness. Anyway, this, so I'm friends with a lady on Facebook. Her name is Bonnie W. I don't remember her. I want to say a name, but I'm afraid it's wrong, so I'm not going to say her last name. But we met in person for the first time a couple years ago at StitchCon, and then she posted, "Come and see me for needle minders at my table." So I went right over there, and I'm like, "I'm Facebook friends with you." And she had needle minders. Look at how cute. That's the little trash panda. She had all kinds of animals, but I love me a trash panda. So, and then this cute little thread bed or needle book, whatever you want to use it for, because it has one of those felty pages. So that was very, very nice. Another little fob there. This was from a lady called, well, her initials are GW, so it's GW Stitching Depot. Here's her card. And she sells all kinds of floss storage products, so she gave everybody the little ring with one of her clear bobbins. Whoops. There we go. I know I've been on her website before. It is, oh no, she's got an Etsy, so it's on her Etsy I've been. But, yep, so that's hers. Somebody gave us one of these little boo-boo sticks. This is Mel of Hope Stitches. She's got a floss tube. That's a new one to me. I'll have to check her out. You already saw the little frog. These are cute little, this is one of those little 2025 charms. It's hard to see. There we go. And it's probably backwards for you too. I can't tell. Someone, and I wish I had the name. I do not have the name. I will try to find it. They do these 3D printed, all different sizes. There's hearts, there's circles, there's octagons, there's squares, and you can do your stitching in it, and it's finished already. That's it, right here. So I think it's a great idea, and I hope they do very well. And I will do my best to find the name of this business and post it down below, because I think it's great. And she was very, very nice. So these are just some floss drops, and that's Applejack. If you can see that handsome little face, look at that precious face. And the reason why these are so special is because this is from a woman named Marie Leonard. So she's like my long lost cousin I didn't know I had. And we're now Facebook friends. And we just laugh because in her town she said the joke is that if you shake a tree, a Leonard falls out. And tell me, that's exactly what it's like here. My husband has a very large family, very large. And it's so completely opposite to me, who has I have less than 5 members left in my family. But at any rate, then this is from my friend Dell. And if you look, she put everybody's initials in there. She did all different colors, and I absolutely love it. It was so sweet. It was so unexpected. I just never in a million years expected that. So it was very sweet. Then there were 2 ladies also at Dell's table, Diane and her daughter Stephanie, and they made these beautiful berries. Look at that. It's from a blackbird pattern. One of them did the stitching and the other one did the berry. And I cherish this. I just absolutely love this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it far exceeds my capabilities, that's for sure. So my friend Debbie, also at that table, that was the table that was going to adopt me. She made me this beautiful needle book with the scissor, which I guess I should hold it up this way. Isn't that pretty? And she told me that it's not complete, that I have to come back next year for the other part. So we shall see. God willing, I'll be there next year. I'm certainly planning to try. And then my friend, who was also at this table, Perlinda, it was the first time I actually got to meet her. She gave me this adorable little bag from 31. And unfortunately, my favorite thing is not here because it's already set up in my stitching spot at home and I forgot to grab it. Her husband is a master wood crafter, wood carver, whatever. I don't know the proper term, but it's amazing. The stuff I've seen that he's done in the past is amazing. And what he made this year was a boot, and the details on it were ridiculous. And it's a scissor holder, so you put your scissors inside that little wooden boot. I cherish that. I just absolutely love it. And he's facing some health challenges right now, so just say your prayers for Perlinda and her husband, as I do. And truly, Perlinda, that was such a special gift that you included me in. That means the world to me. It really does. So my table mates, and this is, again, I apologize because I don't have Dory's or Alicia's with me. So Beverly it's a mom and daughter, Beverly and Rebecca. Beverly made this beautiful bag. If you've ever seen some of the people, they repurpose other stitching, and that's what this is. She had all different ones to choose from, but that color is my jam. So that was coming home with me. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Look at that. And she's, oh, it's nothing. It's just, I couldn't do this. Not in a million years. Never mind the fact, add on somebody else's like embroidery or whatever. And some of them, it depended on the pieces because she was repurposing them. But some of them were completely full pieces and things, just beautiful. She did a beautiful job with this. And then Sherry, who was also at our table, and I'm just going to take this out because her info is on that card, and I don't want it shared. She made these beautiful bags. Isn't that adorable? Tell me that there's not a better bag for summer, right? And green is also my color. She color coordinated the notepads. Everybody got a different one. I didn't see everybody's bag. Dory got a cat, one with cats, which was, of course, adorable. It's cats, duh. But I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, I can't do a plain bag, much less with vinyl. So these people are uber talented. And then Beverly's daughter, Rebecca, gave everybody a little pouch. And in that pouch were some necessities. We got a whole bag of goodies, some wipes for your glasses, a nail file, a needle threader, another boo-boo wand, a chapstick, which I wish I knew about at the beginning. I forgot it was in here because I could have used that chapstick. Some Post-its, a pen, all kinds of goodies. And even this, a little thing from Dove of like moisturizer. Isn't that cute? Very thoughtful. So much thought goes into these things. I love it. I love the people. I told you, the people are amazing. You'll meet the nicest people. Everybody's of like mind. We all went outside at one point to take everybody who had a Just Keep Stitching shirt to take a picture with Pam and Steph, and then Pam and Steph would take pictures with whoever wanted one. So I somehow became the default photographer for everybody. God help them. I hope their pictures turned out okay. But it was great. It was just so much fun to see everybody come up and be so excited, and it was just a lot of fun. And meeting Pam the first time I've known Pam for a couple of years, Pam and Steph both, but when I ran into Pam, she said to me, "Where's your friend?" And I thought she was talking about Dory, because every time we saw them before that, I was with Dory and Dory wasn't with me. And I said, "Oh, Dory?" And she's like, "No, the one you do the floss tube with." She's like, "What's her name? I can't think of her name." Ida. "Oh, Ida, yes. Where is she?" So, needless to say, we all know that I specialize in the sarcasm, shall we say. So I made up a funny little sign, tracked down Pam, and then we took this picture that I will insert. We also included it in the Flosstube Extra that I posted previously with Dory, but I just thought the picture was great, and I'm already working on Ida. I texted to her right away, and I said, "See, you have to come. Pam's looking for you." So that's that for that stuff. I do have other haul. I did get a couple things off the freebie table, just a couple. I'm a good girl. I don't take anything that I can get, like myself, or that I know I can get. But I love Barbara Anna, and I don't know how, I've never seen this before. This is called Remember Me by Barbara Anna Designs. Just love it. Love it, love it. And I know there's a million things out there with the saying, "When this you see, remember me," but I like the fact that this is more modern, and just the house, and it's just so pretty. So I fell in love with it. And then this, I can't tell you the last time I did a kit, but I'm still a kit junkie. Brand new kit. I couldn't resist. Butterfly Forest. See all the threads there, how pretty. How could you not be attracted to this? How could you not want to take this buddy home? I had to grab it. As soon as I saw it, I grabbed it. But for the most part, I behaved myself. I was good. I put my stuff up there, and that was it. By the way, thank you to the, some people have brought stuff into the shop for me to bring to the freebie table. So if you saw the cardboard box that's been sitting in the store for the last couple months, it's finally out of here. I brought it to StitchCon, and I think people really enjoyed it. So thank you very much. Your stitching stuff went to a very good cause. So I did get some stuff at Keepsakes too, because when in Rome, So the last thing on earth I need is another needle minder. We all have hundreds, if not thousands, of needle minders. And I did it again. I couldn't resist. Look at that cute sucker. Halloween is my jam, cute Halloween in particular. I couldn't resist. It had to come home with me. So that was my needle minder. Then I got a piece of 36 count needle and flax 90s Nirvana, because I don't have this color in anything else. I love needle and flax linens, and for whatever reason I don't have this color. So I just bought a fat quarter. No idea what I'll do on it, but it's funny because it's more neutral than I thought it was. I vaguely remember looking on the website. I think this is one of those shades that I was afraid it would be a little too dark, but not at all. I was very tempted to get a fat half, but I behaved. Then I bought, and this they're bad. So they have a cute conversion of Lily, the animal cracker from Stacy Nash. And they had it posed on top of the fabric, and of course I had to buy the fabric. Look how pretty this is. This is a Bestitch Me Verdal, which is 40 count even weave. This is one of my favorite fabrics to stitch on, and it is called Dusk. And it's like a lavender color. It's not showing great, but, and look how wrinkled it is already just from being in my bag, but I love it. And as soon as I saw it, I had actually already paid, and I had to go back a second time. So, and then I did get a couple of patterns. Again, there are ones that I don't have or that I don't see every day, and yes, I could get them wholesale, but I support your brick and mortars. That's all I'll say. Support your brick and mortars, because it's not easy. There's a lot of overhead, and even though it's keepsakes, they need the support too. So I always manage to make a deposit when I'm there. This is from Cricklewood Crossing. It is called it's a series, Gone to a Better Place series, Land of Trouble. And if you saw, they had the model there. It was so cute. It's like the little skeleton driving the carriage. Oh my God, it's just adorable. You can't see the whole pattern here, but the model sold it. It was coming home with me. And this is a GGR. I've seen this one on a lot of other Flosstube channels. It's called Sampler from Saxony. And this was on my list without even remembering it was on my list. So when I saw it, I picked it up immediately, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this chart. I have to buy this. So picked that up. And I also picked up a couple of highlighters just because they're pretty colors. Like this is the Friction one, which I carry in the shop, but I don't have blue. So I couldn't resist. And this is also a Friction. This is like a gel pen, I think. It says clicker, but it ain't clicking. There it goes. Yeah, it's like a gel pen. But I'm a sucker for pretty colors and highlighters. Can't have enough of them. And then if you looked at our last Flosstube, the Flosstube I did with Ida, they had Sulky. They had a couple of multi-packs of Sulky, like Halloween colors, Christmas colors, that kind of thing. But, sorry, just making sure nobody came in. But they also had a bucket filled with white Sulky and black Sulky. And I picked up one of each. I already have some at home, but God only knows where it is. You can never find it when you want it. So, and I'm using the white in my Teresa Kogut stitch now, and the difference between this and, I put it away already, this and B5200 is like night and day. It's great. I will always have Sulky black and white near me. So then this was the exclusive, oops, two more things I found that I forgot I bought. I stuffed them in this pattern. So they had a couple of new 310 needle minders. There's that little kitty. Isn't he cute? It's a she. And this one also. So I not only have a little black kitty of my own at home, but 310 is also my birthday. So every year I see Barbara, I bore her with the same story. I buy everything you have with 310 on it. And she told me ahead of time that these were going to be in the annex, so I made a beeline right for them. So the exclusive chart this year for StitchCon is from Heart and Hand. Cecilia was there. I did not get to talk to her, though I wanted to. This is called Kindred Friends. Isn't that adorable? And there's also a border that attendees to Keepsakes can get on, they had an app this year, so you have to download it. I have to do that before I forget, and it winds up being too late. But you can get the border on there. They had the threads all ready to go, and they're just classic Colorworks. I think they're all classic Colorworks, which, yes, I have, but the convenience to just grab them and go, I couldn't resist. I'm a sucker for convenience. And then they had special cuts of the fabric, which is needle bling cookie dough. So I bought a cut of that to do this stitch on, and I have everything kitted together, so I have absolutely no excuse for not doing it. Remind me of that in a year when I still have not started it. So I think that's everything. But I give StitchCon, as always, an A+. The job that they do, the people, the helpfulness, the friendliness, one is nicer than the next. I have never, well, I can't say never because I did have a crappy first time at StitchCon for reasons that have nothing to do with anything but me and my personal issues. My car broke down, I had just started a new job, it was a lot of stress, so I did not enjoy StitchCon that first year. Other than that, every year I go and I say I will never miss this one again, ever, and I don't intend to. So as long as I can make it continue to work and the money holds out, I will be at StitchCon next year, and hopefully I will see you all there. So at this point, I will let you go, and woohoo, I managed to keep it under an hour. I hope I didn't bore you all too much. If you went to StitchCon, let me know down below. Let me know what weekend you went to, A or B, and what you think. I am a loyal Weekend B girl at this point. My understanding and my experience is that Weekend A is a little more crazy, hectic, busy, that kind of thing, and it's silly to say StitchCon is low-key in any way, shape, or form, but if it is, it would be Weekend B. So that is why I'm a Weekend B girl forever. And that's it. So thank you for joining me if you lasted through this whole thing. If you don't mind, give us a like and a subscribe. And next video, I will be back with Ida, of course, and we'll catch you next time. Until then, keep stitching. Bye.